Hey everybody, Mark over here at Twanger's Turntable. I hope you're all doing well on this Wednesday evening where I'm at while I'm recording this. In fact, I may probably only post it tomorrow, which will be Thursday. Regardless, I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Just doing a quick entry to a thread started by Jacob over at Jacob's music channel, KRI. He's over in Denmark, I believe. If you've not been to his channel or heard of Jacob, go check him out. Sub his channel and check out some of his content. He's got some good stuff. He's always putting up very diverse stuff, I might add. So and being over in Denmark, a lot of stuff that quite often is stuff that I may have not have heard of over here in North America or in Canada, specifically where I am. So it's pretty good. I mean, he runs the whole gamut, many different genres that just go check out Jacob's channel. So I'm going to start here with the letter B. I already did my video for the letter A last week, so if you have not seen that, check it out. I'll start off with the debut from Tony Basil, Word of Mouth. This came out 81, 82, best known for Mickey, which was actually written by Mike Chapin and Nicky Chin. Probably well known by early glam rock folks as being, they wrote songs for a lot of bands back in the day. Not the least of which for me is Sweet. I love Sweet. Desolation Boulevard is one of my favorite rock albums ever. But they also wrote for bands like Mud, Suzi Quatro, a lot of bands. Also featured on here is the members of Devo. She covers 3 of their songs, but they appear on those songs. And one song on here is credited to Nick Gilder. Nick Gilder and his writing partner McCullough. Is it Dan McCullough? John? I don't know. McCullough from oh my goodness, Roxy Road, Sweeney Todd. My God, I was drawing a blank. Yeah, so they're known from Sweeney Todd. They credit it with a song on here, and that's enough. I'm getting into way more details than I intend to do here. It's just presenting letters, artists or bands with the letter B. Next one, love these guys, and I would suggest most people into metal, hard rock have heard of these guys. Budgie. They've been covered by many bands, not the least of which Metallica, Soundgarden, many bands actually. But this is their debut, 1971, produced by somebody that a lot of hard rock metal enthusiasts would be familiar with as well, Roger Bain, who produced the first 2 Sabbath albums, as well as the first Judas Priest album, among many others. There's these bands were tightly woven back then, Roger Bain being involved. In fact, Judas Priest was touring with Budgie around that time of Roger Bain producing their debut album, Rock-a-Rolla. But this is about this one. This is the Budgie debut. Check it out if you've not heard it. Great album. The late Bert Shelley passed away, I think 2019 or 20. Often compared to vocalists such as Geddy Lee from Rush and whatnot. So if that is your thing or not your thing, I wouldn't dismiss it based on that. Give it a go, because depending on how they perform, it can sound quite different, but they are definitely a good rocking group that I would encourage you to check out. Very, very good band. A Welsh band, actually. Good band. Next up, I went with something a little more modern at least, and it's a debut from Badlands. So essentially the Badlands is Eric Singer, the drummer, who had been in Kiss, Ray Gillen, and Eric Singer had played together in another band. It escapes me now the name of that band, but Ray Gillen, who did vocals, replaced I think Glenn Hughes on what tour would that have been? I forget the tour. I wasn't following Sabbath at that time. It's just not my bag. But then they went in the studio and Ray Gillen laid down tracks which were never released. I think Tony Martin came in and redid the vocals. Is that Seventh Star? I don't know. There are others more qualified to elaborate on that. And of course, Jake E. Lee, fantastic guitar player who appeared with Ozzy and Bark of the Moon and Ultimate Sin and Love his guitar playing, and this is a must listen to if you're into that 80s hard rock or just hard rock, blues based, good rockin' music. I would suggest you check it out. If you don't know who Badlands is, definitely check them out. And speaking of Black Sabbath, the mighty Sabbath, I gotta go with Black Sabbath. I went with Mob Rules. This is probably my favorite. No need to say probably. This is my favorite Dio Sabbath release. I love Heaven and Hell, and I even like the stuff they did later with Dehumanizer and what was that one they did where they weren't officially called Black Sabbath? Heaven and Hell. I think they were called Heaven and Hell. In fact, Jason over at Low Noise, Jason Skills, was talking about that in his 800 contest. Anyway, this is a great album. The Mob Rules. First time I heard this, I actually heard the Mob Rules on the soundtrack to Heavy Metal, and it's slightly different than what's on the album, but I can totally relate. Trevor was just talking about this last week on his video to celebrate the anniversary of this album, and almost the same story. I had heard about it. I'd heard the Mob Rule song on the Heavy Metal soundtrack before I heard the album, but that was like, oh, I got to get that. And it's just an amazing album. Love Heaven and Hell, but this one to me is the better one. Of course, this brings on Vinny a piece because Bill Ward just wasn't able to perform on it due to his, I think at the time, alcoholism or substance abuse of some kind. And the other one I was going to present is back here. We were just listening to it, me and my wife Jen here, my bestie, and Pumpkin, he's looking right at me. Jeff Beck Group, Truth. I've got the double one there, Truth and Beckola. It's a double album. Just fantastic, featuring young Rod Stewart on vocals and Ron Wood on bass, and just a great and the late great Jeff Beck, of course, who just passed away in January 2023. And I'll do one more in a beat, just an honorable mention, because it's a little bit outside of what I might ordinarily listen to, but I always like to take chances. It's kind of one of those blind buys. Except I had heard one of their songs previously, and I actually have their disc, but it was the one prior to this. So I saw it in the warehouse outlet, Amazon kind of thing, and it was like $14 or something, so I took a chance on it. And they're pretty huge over in Europe. They're from Scotland. It's called Biffy Clyro, and they're pop rock. They're that kind of, like I say, they're very huge in Europe, in England specifically, I guess, UK, where many of their albums are on the charts, near the top of the charts. And I don't know about now. This is maybe, I think this came out in 2009, 2010, somewhere in there, and the one prior to that. But they had a run of albums that were very high in the charts. So outside of what maybe one would consider, I don't know what one would consider that I normally listen to, it's just something different once in a while, and so I like to check things out that maybe aren't as familiar with me, and that's the whole idea. That's what I just was saying at the start of the video, right? Check out things that you may not have heard of. So Biffy Clyro, I'll end it with that, and also end it with going over and checking out Jacob's channel again. Just supporting the other members on YouTube here in the vinyl community that, whatever way we can, jumping on a thread, liking, subscribing, commenting on the videos, and then relating in that regard. And Jacob does that a lot, so he's always on. I see him on a lot of the other videos I watch, commenting and appreciating it, and I like to reciprocate that if I can. And so that's what this is all about. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll get another video up here soon. We'll see. Those who have watched my channel, they know it's just kind of erratic. I do it when I can, when I get the chance. I don't normally do during the week like I am now, so this is the exception to the rule. But I didn't want to miss out on B's, and I've got a really busy weekend coming, so I wouldn't be able to do it. So there it is. That's my entry for B, for the thread that Jacob started over at Jacob's Music Channel KRI. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, whatever it is, and I'll see you next time here at Clangers Turntable. Cheers, everyone.